Hi, welcome to my little home studio. It was requested that I try to do a little tutorial on how I record the Native American style flute in GarageBand. That's what I use. It is a free program if you have Apple hardware, whether it be an iPhone or an iPad or either a desktop or a laptop computer. GarageBand is free and will work on all of those devices. Using my desktop here, because it's a bigger screen and it's easier for you to see this, I do have a interface. This is the Focusrite 2i2 or Scarlett 2i2 unit. It has two inputs, a USB out that goes into the back of the computer, or it could go into a laptop. I have never recorded this way using an iPad or my iPhone. I have recorded in GarageBand on my iPhone, and I use the built-in microphone, and it has worked fine for me in that instance. And that would be kind of in an on-location type of a scenario. But here, in your home, the interface, you need to plug in some kind of a microphone. I have, where's the cord? Here we go. This is an XLR plug that comes on the microphone. This will take either an XLR input or a 1/4-inch plug input. And I'm just using the first channel here. Kind of clicks into place and locks in. You can use headphones. Get that cord out of the way. You can use headphones if you want to. I don't necessarily need to listen. If I'm just doing flute by itself, I don't need to listen to what I'm playing. This will tell me if the signal is right. Bring a microphone over here. And I'm going to be using a flute that I got here recently. This is an E-flute, just for your information. And I turn up the volume almost all the way. And you can see the little green light over here coming on, showing the signal. If I play really, really loud, well, this might not do it. Let's try it all the way up. When it goes past that, mine is an older unit and the little red light doesn't always work on there. Usually a little red light would come on in place of the green, showing that you are using too hot of the signal. So I would back that volume off just a little bit. I'm going to open GarageBand. That comes up. It has an existing song on here. Normally when you open GarageBand, it opens the last song that you've been working on there, or the last project. So I'm going to go up here to where it says File. I'm going to click on New. Now it gives you this screen with an empty project. You can rename it now if you want to. I usually wait. The tempo, you can do a tap tempo if you wanted to, major or minor. I know this is an E minor, so I'm going to click on E. I'm going to change over here to minor. And that is so that later on, if you wanted to minorly change something, if your flute was slightly out of tune or the temperature was too high or too low, that might bring your flute a little too flat or sharp, depending on temperature. You can ask the programs in GarageBand to help you auto-tune your flute and correct the pitch if you are trying to play with some other instruments that a piano, for example, that is in tune, or maybe it's out of tune a little bit and you need to adjust something. You can do that. I'm not going to worry about the tempo here because I'm just playing a solo flute part. I don't care about the timing. The input device, this is already plugged in and it's operating, and I want the input device or the output device to be the Scarlett 2i2. So I'm going to change, I changed the key signature and I changed it to minor. I'm not going to worry about the tempo. I click choose. That's what I want. It now asks me what kind of an input that I want to do. I can pick a drummer. I can connect a guitar or bass or keyboard or something like that, or guitar bass into here. Acoustic guitars can be plugged in also if they are an acoustic electric. I'm going to be using a microphone, so I'm going to highlight that. And so now that has the box defined. I want it in input 1, which is what I'm connected to. You can change that, input 1 or 2. You can also do both at the same time. That's a little more complicated. I want to hear my instrument as I play and record. That's if you wanted to use the headphones. You can do that. I'm not going to really worry about that right now because I don't care. Now I hit create. It's going to come up with an audio 1 track that is empty here. You can see up here the signal level, and over here the signal level of just my voice talking into the microphone. If I play the flute, the really loud parts started to get into the yellow and it didn't hit the red, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. These are some controls that I'm not going to worry about. This is kind of the automatic setting that it automatically comes up with. I worry about that later on. And I think I moved my, moved my camera. So I've tested things. It's not bad. I'm going to move that a little bit. So levels look pretty good. I haven't really thought about what I'm going to play. I'm just going to play something. I don't want the click track to go, so I'm going to go up here and click on that. It does not highlight the little metronome, so I don't want that going. It will give me a little 4-count beat to come into the song. So it gives me just a little bit of time. And I'm not really worried about how long of a time that is. Trying to get this adjusted. There, that should work, I think. So here we go. I'm going to go up here, click record. It's going to count in 4 beats, and then it will start recording. Here we go. So I stopped recording by clicking the little red button again, and then I clicked right up here, which stopped the song. We can go back, and I am going to, let's see here. What am I going to do? I'm going to hook up speakers instead of headphones. Turn that on. See if that works. I haven't tried this. Start over again. So that doesn't sound too bad. What I can now do, get the microphone out of the way here again. I can choose to add things. And one of the first things I usually do is down here, there's a thing called ambience. If you go down to that knob and turn it up, it increases the ambience. I'm going to let this play. So that's the way it was with no ambience added. This is what it sounds like as I turn it up. I'm also going to turn on the compressor and turn the amount up just a little bit until I start to get a little blue light here. And that helps even out the signal at the start of my playing. It also drops the volume level a little bit on those louder portions of the higher notes. Makes them not quite stand out as much. And I kind of like that. Now, stop that for a second. Over here, when track is highlighted, you can go down here and click on plugins, and it will give you some things down here. We have compressor on, the EQ is on, and these settings I have just the way that they were straight up, which means that it's not adding or subtracting anything in the lower EQ band, the mid EQ band, or the high EQ band. You can dial in that a little bit if you wanted, let's say your flute seemed a little harsh, a little too tinny sounding or brittle or too high pitched. You can reduce the highs a little bit to help tame that down a little bit. This one seems fine. In fact, it might need just a little tiny bit of a boost on the high range. I advanced it just one little increment here, or one little line. I haven't touched mid frequency, and that will change kind of the whole spectrum. Or the low cut, I don't add any low cut. I like as much, I like the lows, they're nice and mellow. But over here, you can add echo or reverb, and you can kind of dial in what type that you want. With the way that I played, I do like a little bit of echo, so I'm going to bring that up about, a little past a third of the way, and that should give me kind of one repeat. The reverb, I'm going to put about 2/3 of the way up, and now we're going to play that and see what it sounds like. I'm going to reduce the reverb a little. Excuse me. Right now, that has very little reverb and kind of one repeat on the echo. Turn down the echo just a little bit. And raise the reverb back up to maybe halfway. And then down here it says Edit Echo and Reverb Settings. I'm going to click on that. We're looking at echo right now, and this is what that is. It controls the time, how long it takes for the echo to occur, how many repeats, a coloring, the tone of the echo, the repeat, and how loud you want it to be. Over here under setting, you can click on that and you can change what type of an echo you want. It has all kinds of things here, 8-note triplet and so on and so forth. I have, for the most part, I just leave that alone. If I click on echo, it will highlight that, but then it'll let me get down into reverb. When I click settings on reverb, it gives me different types of reverb: ambience, big room, bright, long, verb, church, like if you're in a great big church or cathedral, live club, so on and so forth. I am going to set mine on ambience because I like that style of reverb. And this is what that sounds like. And I'm going to turn the reverb up quite a bit. Let's go about 3/4 of the way. Start that back over again. Let's try changing that to church and see what that does. Has a much longer tail. Let's try changing that back to ambiance. And right there is kind of what I like to hear. I'm also going to go back and turn up the echo just a little bit. Bring the reverb back down a little bit. And I just reduced the echo a little bit. I'm going to raise the highs a little bit under the EQ. And I raised the ambiance up just a little bit more. I'm going to reduce the lows just a little tiny bit. I'm going to reduce the echo just a little bit more too. It's about a third of the way up now. Now it's about a quarter way up on the echo. So I like what I hear there. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go up here to where it says track. I'm going to say new track. I'm going to use a microphone again. So click on that, input 1, because we're going to use the same exact thing that we had going. Now I'm going to go get another flute. So now I've got a little high spirits, high E flute. And I'm going to do just some accents. But I am going to I've got to turn off that speaker thing so you're not going to hear it right now, so that I can add my headphones. That is going to silence this track, except for me to listen to it in the headphones so that I can play along with it so I know what's going on when, and I can add the little accents to the high E. So this track is highlighted right now. I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit because this is a little bit louder flute. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to click record and then play when I feel that I need to add this. off my recording. Click the little stop button. And then switch back to my other speakers. So we can listen back to what this one is going to do. And I'm going to add those same kind of echo and reverb settings that I think I had on the other track. Pretty close. So I didn't like that first little part there, so what I'm going to do is just shorten this track and get rid of that, and I'm going to start it right there. Let's go back, start over again. I'm going to raise the ambience also. So far, I'm liking what I'm hearing. I'm going to go over this by turning my record volume down all the way on the microphone. I'm going to set this line right here, and I'm just going to record over that with no volume, so it's going to be blank. Turn off the recording part, go back and play back over that again. So any parts that I don't like, I can kind of just record over and delete those, basically. And I think I might do something like that here because I don't think I'm real happy with what I played there. I don't like that long note that I carried out. So there's two things I can do. I could position my little marker right there and record over that part. And I think I'm going to try that first. So when I first hit this record, it's going to back up and count in those 4 beats, which is fine. Now let's go back, see what that sounds like. So I just moved my recorded piece where there's no sound over just a tiny bit to cut that back off just a hair. Let's see what it sounds like now. Better. A lot of what I'm recording here, I'm trying to do kind of an echo with the higher flute, or kind of a call and response type deal. I'm going to get rid of this little section also. So get my, where I want it to start right there. I'm going to make sure that the volume is down still. Hit record. Stop it there. Go back. That was just a little bit too much in my mind. Just too busy. I like the way that turned out. Now, there are little knobs right here. That controls where that track sits in the mix of the whole song. Right now, it's dead center. I'm going to move the first flute track over to the left side of the track a little bit. And I'm going to move the high-pitched flute over to the right side of the track. This has it says +20 on the pan. This says plus 22. Let's move this one to 22 on the other side so that they're kind of even. It's going to be hard to tell here, and what I will do for the video is when I play this back, I will move this into, well, first I'm going to play it back here. So I'm liking what I'm hearing. Excuse me. One thing that I want to show you folks, I just clicked on this portion of the track 2, says audio 2, and it highlights the track here. So this white band up here, I'm going to click on, right click, and I'm going to come down here to where it says rename regions. And I am going to insert the flute that I played, the name of the flute. So it's a high spirits, E, kestrel. And this particular one is made of birch. So I'm going to include that so I know exactly what flute I played. And then hit enter or return. And that has renamed that track there, not over here. This tells me what I used over here to record it through, the audio version with a microphone. I'm going to click into the first track. I'm going to right click on that white portion, go back to rename regions. And that first flute was a Wood Sounds custom E4, 4th octave. I believe it's made of walnut. And click enter or return. That renames those regions there. Now, I want to save that, and I'm going to move it. There's 2 ways I can do this. And I'll show you. I go up here to share. I'm going to first make the song go to music. And now I haven't titled it, so what I'm going to title this is what? This is always the hard part, figuring out what to call what you've just done. I'm calling it Morning Sun. And I like to put little quotation marks around that. And artist, Brent Adams, composer, Brent Adams, the highest quality for iTunes Plus. And I click share. Goes through, it kind of gathers all that information, and then it takes it over to iTunes, which now in my computer it automatically opens. And I'm going to move that song over into my Flute playlist. Turn that off. I'm going to close the music portion right now. And that will allow me later, when I go to iMovie, where I'm going to edit this video, it will allow me to click on that song and enter it so you can hear it in stereo better. That's why I do that. Also, I'm going to share it where it says export song to disk. Let me see if I can do this right now. I'm going to try and put in a little, and it did come up. So I want to save it to that thumb drive. I need to rename it again. Morning Sun. And because this doesn't have the artist name and all that kind of thing, I'm just going to go dash Brent Adams. So I am sure that I'm the one that recorded that, or it's by me. If I want, because I'm going to move this to a different computer, and this is an easy way to do that. And I want to save it as an MP3. You can save it many different ways. Export. So it does the same thing, but then it has to switch it over to an MP3. So it's going to take a little bit. It's converting it to MP3 now. And now it should be on my drive. And I can go up here and save this song as, it says Project 2. And again, I'm going to go back in here and say Morning Sun. Save. And that's how I do it. It's that easy. If you wanted to plan out a song, you can do the same thing and rehearse the song first and play your song, play parts. The way that I do my multi-track music videos, I will record the video and the audio at the same exact time, and I'm playing things live. For example, if I go back up here now to File, and I want to open, let's say Dreams of You. So this was playing guitar. I have one guitar track, two different flute tracks. One was where I had to correct something that didn't work right the first time. So a guitar and flute track, basically. And this is what those sound like on here. But I record the guitar track while I'm playing it and videotaping it at the same time. There's a long beginning here. On this kind of a track, I do what is called a master track down here, and I have kind of a fade out at the end. It does an automatic fade out at the end, which sometimes I use, sometimes I don't. But that puts volume levels on each one, so I can control the volume on each track, which I didn't feel I needed to do on the one that we just did here together. But this will allow me to change, like I lowered the volume on the guitar track, and I raised the volume on the flute track a little bit on this song. And that is how you master your songs. You can also change some of the character of those audio files by reducing or increasing treble, bass, some of those controls. For example, if I go down here to the audio, the EQ, I can change the EQ. I raised the highs on the flute. I lowered the mids just a little bit. I left the lows alone. This gives you kind of an amplifier for my guitar track, gives me kind of an amplifier type control situation as if I was playing in a real amplifier, which I don't. I just plug the guitar straight in where I would plug the microphone, and it gives me a simulated amplifier. It's that easy. So, hope you enjoyed this. It gives you a look into the way that I record my songs, and this is just a simple little song, and at the last minute I decided to add that second flute. And then I showed you how I modified that flute a little bit. Let me know down in the comment section below this video and below the description box if that helps you to see what I've done here and to see how it's done, number one, in GarageBand. And it's just simple. This is a free program in any of the Apple products. It's slightly different when you're looking at it on your phone. It's very similar on iPad, but again, I've recorded on iPad, but using the built-in mic, same as on my phone. On my iPad's really old. I don't use it much anymore because it is so old. It can't do a lot of the apps anymore because it is so old, and the apps have surpassed its ability to read them. Anyway, let me know in the comments if there's something else you want me to cover, what that is specifically, and I did the same thing here. I panned the guitar over to the right. I panned the flute over to the left, but left it a little bit more centered than the guitar was. So just whatever feels right as to what I'm listening to and what I want to hear. In this song, I wanted the flute to be a little bit more prevalent in the mix, so it's slightly more centered. The guitar I wanted kind of off to the side a little bit more. So definitely stereo separation. It just sounds better that way than everything dead center. That gets a little too busy when you're listening to it in regular stereo speakers or in headphones, earbuds, whatever the case may be. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and take care.